Hello, Celestial Captains. This is Crimson, and you're watching some FTL. This is an indie roguelike space adventure game where you travel through 8 random sectors on your way to defeat the enemy rebel flagship in order to save the Federation. Now, this game you can sink a lot of time into. You can take it at your own pace, quit out. It's just a really great time. And I'm going to go ahead and do a Kestral A run here. This is the first ship you start with, and what better ship to start the series with than a Kestral A? You can see here that you've got all your systems. We'll get into missile, laser, your crew. You can name your crew, you can name your ship. You can go on normal and easy, and we're just going to do normal. So without further ado, let's get into it.
The data you carry is vital to the remaining Federation fleet. You'll need supplies for the journey, so make sure to explore each sector before moving on to the next. But get to the exit before the pursuing rebel fleet can catch up.
Tip: fuel. Every jump consumes 1 unit of fuel, so keep an eye on your reserves. Buy fuel at stores to avoid being left stranded. But being left stranded isn't so bad. So we will send this person to weapons, and we will send you to engines. So, this is the game pretty much. You put your crew in different portions of your ship to power the systems, or to man them. Then you assign power to your weapons, or whatever you want to assign them to. Generally, you don't need your med bay when no one's injured. So let's go on our first jump, shall we? An unvisited location.
You detect a rebel fleet. You detect a rebel scout on an attack approach to a small refueling outpost. Their weapons are charged, but they're not firing yet.
So here we have the option to intervene and defend the outpost or avoid the conflict. I think we'll go ahead and try to save that outpost.
The rebel responds to your threat. I don't know who you are, but no one defies the rebel fleet. They move in to engage.
Oh, it's awfully kind of them. So, the best tip I can give you for this game is to pause aggressively. Right as the ship started and their systems powered on, I paused. Paused by hitting space. And so let's take a look what they got. They have a missile. That's not very nice. And they seem to have a beam drone. Or actually that is a combat drone. They'll repeatedly attack my ship with a laser. The missile will go right through my shields and hit one of my systems, dealing damage to it. That's not good. So I'm going to click my burst laser on their weapons so I can power down that missile. And let's see. This does 1 damage, 2 damage. Alright. Put 1 on each of those. See how it goes. So the drone's just going to fly around pecking away at my shields. I'm not too worried about it. It'll even miss. But what I'm really worried about is this. No fires, at least. That's good. Let's get that repaired. We're pretty safe here. So we took out the weapons first, so their missile can't do any more damage to me. We took out the drones just in case they get a lucky missile shot off. And we took out the piloting, so our next shots can't miss. Of course, you notice they went to fixing the drone control and the weapons, which gives me plenty of time to destroy their ship. First jump not too bad. Took a hull damage when I lost my med bay to the missile. But easy ship to take out. As you see, the shields block our missiles, and ooh,
the ship breaks apart and you quickly salvage what you can.
2 missiles, drone part, 12 scrap, and an FTL recharge booster. That recharge booster will sell nicely.
The outpost hails you. The pompous bastards expected free service just because they defeated the Federation. Take this for the help.
That's awfully kind of them to, give me whatever they had laying around for saving their lives, but I'll take it. Of course, another tip I can give you that'll help you out is to try to get as many jumps as you can in per sector.
The distress signal is coming from a small space station orbiting an uninhabited planet. Their satellite defense system has gone haywire, and their repair crew can't approach without being fired on. They're looking for help to fix or disable it.
Well, I can risk taking some hull damage, or I can leave them alone. What will he do? I think we'll take the chance since we don't have much to lose.
You fire a few volleys, but aren't able to penetrate the defense system shields. Its weapons have no trouble piercing yours, though. You take minor damage before escaping. Their station will need to find help elsewhere.
No luck for me, and I didn't have any of the options for the blue sure thing. No NG or ions. But you can go ahead and check the wiki if you ever run into a sector you aren't sure about. There are a lot of randomly generated options. You may want to know your chances at succeeding and what you can lose before you choose one of those options.
Your jump leads to a completely unremarkable binary star system. There is nothing else around.
Well, thank you for wasting my fuel, game.
Roguelikes, yeah.
So we're going to try to get as many jumps as we can. Whoa.
An especially well-armed pirate ship approaches you. Hand over one of your crew members and the rest of you can go free unharmed.
Well, these slavers want a person from my ship to become a slave, and that doesn't seem like a very good option. Now, you do get a chance to look at their ship beforehand. This is an energy bomber, meaning it has a Zoltan shield, which are very annoying. But I don't think we're going to surrender our crew to slavery. So, this means you can't teleport in or out of this. Very annoying. And of course, it blocks your shots, but it doesn't regenerate. So essentially, you have to get through this shield before you can do damage to their ship. They have an ion bomb and a heavy laser. Not too much for me to worry about. The ion bomb will do 4 system damage to any room it hits. So, right there, they hit an empty room. And again. So essentially, it did nothing. Then the heavy laser will just do 2 damage if it hits, which it's just hitting my shield over and over again. So I've got nothing to worry about unless this ion bomb hits one of my systems. And it really doesn't seem to want to. One of the advantages of the Kestral, lots of empty space. Okay, now we got their weapons down after a series of misses in Sector 1, where the ships are supposed to be weakest. Just miss all the time. Well, there's nothing you can really do about that mischance. And that means that they have a lot of points into their engine, and perhaps a skilled pilot. But with their piloting down, their dodge chance is going to be 0. So now every single shot will hit. And we surrender! Take one of our slaves as tribute! If you destroy us, they'll die anyway! So I can accept their offer as for a slave, or say surrender is not an option and shoot them down. But hey, I'll take the crew. And we got a Mantis, of course. Mantis very good in hand-to-hand combat, but not very good at repairing with their tiny Mantis hands. Makes sense. So if I ever wanted to board, I could have a nice crew member for that. As opposed to all these squishy little humans who are good for nothing. Worthless humans.
Ooh. You recognize this ship as a well-known slave trader. He hails you and offers you laborers, or cheap.
So I could buy a slave for 50 scrap. Who knows what it could be. Could be a worthless human. I could attack the slave scum. Seems like a great idea. Or I could ignore them and continue on my way. So I'm going to go attack them. Because they're jerks. You know, enslaving people. This is a Mana Scout. It's got a missile and a basic laser. Is that a... Yeah, it's a basic laser. And of course, missile right in the engines. But luckily I got nothing else to fear at the moment. They repaired that awfully quick though. I wonder what they got in there. So, nothing here to be afraid of. Except for them running away. That could be pretty bad. I'd lose my scrap. I need you to stay here and die so I can scrap you. Or get another crew member for you. I'm a slave. And again, we've seen this before, they surrender. Take a slave as tribute. I will accept that offer. And we got a squishy worthless human. Well, at least he can man shields for us. As you can see, that's going to give us a bonus to our shield regeneration rate. Well, that's very fun. Now, our guy who was in our engines when it got missiled took some damage. So we're going to send him over to the med bay so we can get that healed up, and we'll have the risk of dying. And I'm just going to jump early while he's walking over there, because I don't need him in engines. He can get his experience later while I do this. There's a beam drone and a missile. I'm getting all the great ships this time. So I scouted a Rebel Wigger. That just didn't like me, because they're big jerks. I'm going to fire a missile because I missed that, and I'm going to miss with the missile. This is best run. Well, we're having a fun miss party over here. Oh, thank you. That was so nice. So I'm going to target their piloting, so I can get rid of that massive mischance they seem to have. And I'm going to hit it with another missile, because I got plenty, and I don't want to get hit by another missile. Oh, they are attempt to be... The enemy ship appears to be powering up its FTL. It's trying to escape. It should be very bad, because it's a rebel. They could warn about my position and stuff. But, I don't think we need to worry about that, because their FTL can't charge with their piloting down. So they can get that right back up as soon as I say that, because they're jerks. And of course I missed while taking out their engines. Taking out the piloting and the engines have pretty much the same effect. It was quite a risk there. The ship explodes, leaving behind a substantial collection of useful scrap material. Yeah, that's pretty useful. 50 scrap. Not doing too bad of a shape. Don't want to jump into that nebula when I got so many sectors over here to jump into. So what have you got for me next sector? Oh, a mercenary hails you. Greetings, friends. We've heard tell of your quest and are here to offer our valuable services. I could hire them to delay the rebels, which will give me some more jumps in the sector. I could hire them to scout the sector, which will reveal any distress points, stores, that kind of thing. I could fight the ship, or say I have no need of their services. I think I'm going to fight them, because I want their scrap. Scumbag mercenaries, they can wait for scrap. Ooh. And they had a drone with them. So I'm looking at a basic laser, a heavy laser, and a drone that can get through my shields, huh? Alright, well, you guy who was sitting in that med bay for that whole last thing can go there. And we'll put out this fire. Well, you know what? It's right there. We can air that out. So, potentially you can get fires in your ship. And breaches. That's lovely. So, my sensors were taken down, because these lasers are quite deadly, and my ship is on fire. And we also heard a breach, meaning that the oxygen is going to drain out from that room. But, in case of a breach, you can open up the doors adjacent to that room to equalize the air levels in that breach and have an easy time repairing it. So let's get right on that. Let's get these soul and shields down and another breach. Oh boy. Well, things are starting to look bad. So we're going to take another pause here and look at what's going on. Although we don't get to see much. We know that there's a breach right about there. Oxygen's fine. Hopefully that fire is out. Yeah, our sensors are going to get repaired nice and quick. Our medbay isn't on fire, because you could tell if it was on fire you'd be able to see it in the power. The pips things, whatever they are. Okay, we got that down. I can see how bad our ship is. Okay, that's not so bad. Except for that drone is a murderer. I hate you, drone. So you can use this close all doors and open all doors over here if you're fancy. Of course, all have bindable hotkeys. I'm just happy to have that drone down because he seemed to have some sort of superpowers. Okay, so let's get our medbay and these guys all healed up from the damage they took during that. Getting lasered by a drone in Sector 1. That was quite a mean ship. Mercenaries were tough. Maybe I should have hired him. Okay, so, like I said, we got that breach there, although we didn't open up around it. 2 guys, we'll send in 2 humans because they don't suffer from the mantis penalty of not being able to repair. Now, if we had 2 points in oxygen, we could equalize that, but we were a little slow in our reacting to that, but it's no worries. There we are in no danger at the moment. Of course, another trick for helping oxygen spread to oxygen lacking rooms is to open up all the doors, so all the oxygen gets back in faster, and you can just close them all back up again. Alright, let's get everyone back on their systems and have Oni, the Japanese demon, running around. Taking a lot of hull damage so far. A little worried about that, especially since we haven't seen a shop. Could be bad, could be bad. Could be worse. Could always be worse.
You discover one of the rebels' automated scouts. The ship's AI wastes no time in engaging your ship.
These things are quite deadly. It's got an ion weapon and a laser. Not too scared of it. More scared of my mischance. Ouch. My shields. My misses. Ah. Oh, there we go. No breach, though. And of course the laser had to get the shields. Well, so we took out the piloting first because God knows I'm never going to be able to get that mischance down with this run. Luckily the missile got there. Now one thing you want to know about these auto assault drones is if you're boarding, they have no life support. So they will, you will suffocate on their ship if you attempt to board. Keep that in mind, keep that in mind. Now if you have rock crew members, they can survive it on teleporter level 1. You can teleport them in and have them do some damage to the system and teleport them out before they die. Of course, teleporter level 2 will be able to do the same thing. But really, you just want to avoid that, especially if they have the potential to take out your teleporter while you're on board. It's pretty bad. We get pretty bad pretty quick. Of course, those lasers, it can be pretty deadly if you don't have enough shields, but it's looking like we're going to upgrade our shields soon with the way this sector's going. A little worried about the hull. Still no store. Really easy store.
A Federation encrypted signal is being broadcast from a nearby planet.
Well, I can investigate it. It could be a trap. Let's move on. Let us investigate.
You find a secret Federation outpost, but it appears the rebels have found it before you. The place is empty, and faint bloodstains can be seen in the living quarters. You find the encrypted signal emitter and shut it off before leaving.
So, nothing. Nothing. Oh, there's that store I wanted so bad. We're going to take one jump here, jump down there, and that'll probably be it for this sector, then to the exit. Like I said, we're trying to maximize the number of jumps we want, and we want to make sure to get that store.
A small rebel ship is docked at a small station. You try to lay low, but it spots you. Power up the weapons!
This one doesn't look too deadly. Looks like they have a small bomb there and a laser. Gonna laser me? Am I gonna miss you? Take bets on if we're gonna miss or not, everyone. Okay, bomb, where you going? Oh, I managed to stop the bomb mid-shot. That's quite good to know. My burst laser 2 charge time synced right up with that launch time. I'm just wrecking these guys. So not much to worry about here. This basic laser can only do 1 damage, so nothing to fear from that. The bombs can always do damage. Luckily they still have a mischance, but your defense drones can't shoot them down. So remember that if we ever have a bomb. They send me a message. I cannot believe how well equipped your ship is. Please take this and let us live. 3 missiles, a drone part, 8 scrap. Only 8 scrap, but 3 missiles. I mean, I could easily take them out. But 8 scrap, huh? I'll take the deal. Wasn't a lot of scrap I lost there either way. And now we're gonna get to our store, which is gonna be great. A ship engineer set up a small shop here. Well, that's awfully brief. Thank you, game. Okay. Not what I was looking for, but geez. Did a lot of damage there. We have this FTL recharge booster to sell because it's worthless. So I could get a crew teleporter. I do have a Mantis, although I only have 70 scrap at the moment. FTL jammer, don't need that. That's just going to scramble enemy ships' FTL computers, doubling the time it takes for them to jump. Don't need that at all. The drone recovery arm, which lets you get your drone parts back for drone drive out there. Drone control, crew teleporter, and cloaking. None of these I need right away. So thanks but no thanks, store. You sold my recharge booster for me. That was nice. So I'm going to get 2 shields because that's going to save us a lot of hull repairs. And luckily, we timed it just right and we can get to the exit. You arrive at the long-range beacon. With the FTL drive is charged, you can jump to the next sector. You spot a small rebel ship nearby. It seems to have been refitted for transport rather than combat. It doesn't seem to want to engage your ship. Well, these rebels are jerks and trying to kill us, so we're going to demand to surrender their goods.
You prepare to secure their cargo by force.
Yeah, that's a cargo ship. Look at this cargo ship. Oh, their enemy FTL is charging. I'm so scared of that. They're gonna, signal the rebels where I am, even though this is my last jump in the sector. It looks like they're having as much luck with missiles as I am. Oh, and they got that other missile off. Thanks. Right in the oxygen. We're gonna send the Mantis to repair that, because we can let that system be down for a while. This is gonna be an interesting one. Oh boy. There we go. That wasn't so bad. Let's have the drone pecking away at us, but our 2 shields, nothing they could do. And I forgot about that, but now I have 2 Mantis somehow, because I didn't read the rebel thing. I didn't. I was in a bit of a hurry. Go, repairing Mantis. Oh, I didn't mean to click that. Okay. So we'll send this Mantis over here. And go on to the next sector, Sector 2. We have the Uncharted Nebula, or the Pirate-controlled sector. Neither is a good option. But I think I'd rather know what's on the enemy ship. Have a chance to get lots of scrap out of this one. Not too worried about being boarded. Okay, what do we got here? No scrap to upgrade. So let's just start jumping. Now, one of the first things you want to look at when you go into a new sector is where does the exit connect to? And with the show beacon jumps on hover option that you can enable from the options menu, you can easily just hover over these and try to plot out your route before you jump. So we're going to go this way, try to get along the left side wall we entered from. Try to get there.
A rebel ship moves into engage. You attempt to open communications, but realize the futility of that action when you see the rebel is run by an AI.
Ion and a heavy laser. Not too much to worry about. Hopefully I won't have to use any missiles on this one. Why don't I get some more people jumping aboard my ship when I have these 2 Mantis sitting around doing nothing? What kind of ion are you? You can normally look at these and tell what they are. It is a bit difficult with the ions. You kind of gotta take a look at the little pips, little indicators right there to see what level of ion it is. Meaning how often it's going to shoot, and whether or not it'll be able to take down more than one shield. That looked like an ion 2, maybe? It's hard to tell with ions. The rest of these lasers are easy. This is just a heavy laser 1. Fires 1 shot for 2 damage, nothing to worry about there. Can just slowly and methodically take down this ship with our lovely 2 shields. Of course, you always want to have those 2 shields, at least by Sector 3. Normally you want to try to hold on to the scrap for if you hit a store, they have some really appealing things that you may want to get. Of course, it's all about building your ship up for the final fight. A ship without life forms within a nearby defense asteroid field is giving off a distress call. Shall we investigate? It could be dangerous. Yeah, I think we'll investigate. Our ship's doing good.
Find a pirate ship, damaged and abandoned. You salvage what you can and move on.
Well, that's nice. Didn't take any damage from it and got plenty of scrap. So, generally, you really want to weigh your options when you're risking it on many of these randomly generated things. Again, you can look up on the wiki whether or not you're going to have any good odds against that. Or you could just play it and figure out how good of chances you have. Do you hit the giant alien spiders? But you got no chance at all.
There appears to be a number of small stations nearby. Before you have time to scan them, warnings go off. A rebel teleporter was used in one of the stations. We've been boarded.
Well, so they boarded my ship, of which I have 2 Mantis standing around doing nothing. And they just boarded an empty room where my Mantis was standing for some reason. There was 4 humans who can't fight as well as Mantis. But there's really no threat here at all with good micro. I mean, you can just, even if I got low and didn't have Mantis tearing them apart, I could just send them all into the med bay, and they'd run around and be on the system. I could use my pilot and my other guys, because they got nothing else to do right now. There's no other ships to be in threat of, so they don't need to be anywhere else. Probably shouldn't power off the oxygen. So yeah, that was an easy fight. I had Mantis, they were squishy humans. A nice option, we're being boarded. Just jump into a sector and get nothing out of it. It's lovely. Alright, Weston. Get back on them shields. Doesn't look like anyone's progressing too much. Looks like our pilot will. This is going to be the run of misses, it seems. I have no problems with that. Or at least when they miss. I have no problems when they miss. When I miss, I have a few issues. Just with how many shots I'm taking. Burst Laser 2 is pretty much one of the best lasers you can get. You arrive on a small fleet of NG ships. You arrive to have a small fleet of NG ships target you with a message. Piracy results in negative social impact. Not permitted. You assure them of your honest intentions, and they allow you to pass. Well, thank you, cyberspace robots. That was awfully kind of you to give me a sector with nothing. So the Burst Laser 2, it's one of the best, most cost-effective things you can get. A strange vessel approaches. A digital message appears on your view screen. This is an automated merchant. Refill this vessel with fuel, and it will supply you with drones. Well, I don't need drones. I am running low on fuel, so I'm going to reject that offer. The Burst Laser 2 takes up 2 power and 2 system power, and fires 3 lasers. Your charge is pretty quick, so you really have nothing to worry about when you're using it. It's one of the most handy things you can have. The distress beacon is coming from a civilian ship. It appears as being chased by a pirate. Oh, why not a civilian ship? You power up your weapons and engage the pirate ship. Oh boy, slugs. This Ion, which one are you? You only have the one there. You appear to be firing awfully slowly. I'm not too worried about you at all. One option you have here against these slug ships, as there is no door connecting their O2 supply, their life support, their oxygen, whatever you want to call it. So you can just take them out and watch them slowly suffocate, if you're so mean. But you can also miss horribly and feel very sad about yourself. So we're going to take out that piloting. So we're going to hit them. Hitting them's good. It's also the same case with the engines. If you want to try to take out the engines so they can't dodge it or power their FTL and run away. This is the slug interceptor design. I want to be careful when boarding these guys, as each room can only hold 2 people. And if they're higher level than your squishy humans, or whatever you may be boarding with, they can deal damage to you, and it's going to be hard to micro away from it. And you never know where your 4 teleporter might take you to, if you're the Mantis B or the Crystal ship. But that's all complicated. The pirate ship breaks apart. You hasten to contact the civilian ship. It seems the crew did not survive the assault. You take what you can from the remains of the ship. Well, either way, I got a bunch of scrap and fuel and stuff from that. I wasn't aware that was a distress beacon I jumped to. Oh well. More scrap for me. Okay, so a small pirate ship messages you. That sure is a shiny ship you got there. You fire a warning shot across the bow and they respond.
Hey, no need for violence. It was just a comment.
Well, pirates. It's nice of you to run away at me and give me nothing on that sector. Jerks. Yeah. We got a nice, easy and safe set of jumps this one. Unless we jump into a sun. This beacon has been placed too close to a supergiant class M star. The ship will gradually overheat until you get out of here, or die. But I think the ship will keep overheating after I die. A pirate, apparently oblivious to the danger of the sun, moves in to engage. No, I think they're perfectly aware of the danger, and just realize that killing me is more valuable than living to them, I guess. Of course, they have a missile that's going to get right through my 2 shields. Oh, they just hit the O2. That's awfully kind of them. I'm going to fire a missile at your piloting and miss. I'm going to miss your piloting. Alright, fire. Where are you going? Okay, that is 5 fires from this sun. It's pretty awful. So the 2 things you want to be most worried about when fires hit is your O2 and your door control. We can easily air out the ones in the med bay. We will send you to weapons to help put out that fire and air out the shields. Hopefully that'll take care of that and our Mantis will get the O2 online. Unfortunately it took out our Burst Laser too. That's not very good for us. But that should be okay. I now have to rely on my missiles. So So we're going to power that down after the missile is fired and got the full use of the charge. Power up the burst laser 2 again. So we don't want to use too many missiles. There we go. Or not. We didn't manage to take out the missile with that missile, and they have a missile on the way. But luckily we've got all this spare power, so we can power up our engines. Of course, while our ship is on fire, so is theirs, so we have some relief there. The Mantis managed to repair the O2, which is good. All those fires are out, and all that needs to be done is some repairing. Unfortunately, we lost our burst laser 2. Well, their missile missed though, and then they powered up their laser, which I have no fear of. So that's nice. That, on the other hand, isn't. Why did I send you there? Ah, that was a much nicer fire. Alright, let's just send you both there. Get that fire up before we lose our oxygen. And then this one's going to get nice and shot out the airlock. Hopefully I don't get missiled. Ah, there was more fires than I was led to believe. Of course this super sun is just going to torch me. Oh boy. And they get another missile off. Oh, right in the shields. Okay, this is getting a little dangerous. Hopefully we can get our engines repaired and get them toasted. Come on. Come on, fires on enemy ship. You can do it. I believe in you. Okay. So let's take another pause. Boy, this is going to be very risky. We'll get you guys on engines. Well, this is very dangerous right now. Okay, that's not so bad. So now we're gonna have to make a jump with our ship in not very good shape, but rather than take 5 more fires, that is the best option we got. Hopefully this will be a nice sector. Okay. You recognize the ship as a well-known slave trader. He hails you and offers you laborers for cheap. Now, this is a pretty good jump for us. This is an energy fighter. It's got the Zoltan shield and looks like a heavy laser and a normal beam, small beam, mini beam, some kind of beam. So they can't really do damage to us. So we can just take our time, get our ship back in running shape, and just have a good old time. Get all our crew up to full health. And just enjoy a nice leisurely space flight. Enjoy the moon or the planet, or the circle glowy shape back there. You get to hold control and click your weapon there for auto fire. Be lazy with your crew, just have them lounge around in the mid bay. Because who doesn't want to lounge around in the mid bay? It's one of the best places to be, man. Mid bay? I don't know why their energy freighter has door control, but I'm not going to complain. You know, their ship making it easier on me, that's fine. Totally fine. Okay, we surrender. Take one of our slaves as tribute. If you destroy us, they'll die anyway. What do you know? Slavers offering a slave when their hull gets down. Ooh, and we got an NG. Where shall you go, NG? Weston, what is your shield status? Okay, you go up there. We'll put the NG on shields, because they repair very quick, and having shields up there would be very good. It sounds like their ship is on fire, which is interesting. Could stand here and watch it burn down, possibly. But I don't want to stand around and just waste time. I want to jump. I want to go to save the Federation. Scans reveal a large asteroid field nearby. Short-range scanners may discover useful materials while we wait for the FTL to charge. Can explore the FTL field, or too dangerous, and just wait for the FTL to charge. We'll explore. And what do you know? We got some scrap out of it. That was a nice jump. Very nice jump. Not that we have very many left in the sector, but there's a store here. A few small ships are visible on the vid screen, and you almost activate weapons targeting. However, sensors indicate that they are simply honest merchants. The pirates must be making you jumpy. You must have them asking about their wares. Their wares suck. I want weapons and upgrades. So we have Steven and Beth here. We got plenty of crew, and we'll get more on the way, so no need for that. Nothing to sell. hold a repair, nice and cheap in the early sectors. Probably get up to 10 fuel. Now we can get the crew teleported too. That's a pretty nice run for us. We are going to need more power for that, but we have 2 Mantis to start leveling up. I mean, who could say no to a crew teleport? 2 Mantis just standing around. Of course, what are you going to do? You just going to run around? Just a worthless human? Okay, worthless human on. We're going to get out of this sector before the rebels are on us. If the rebels do catch up to you, you're going to have to fight a rebel ship that's going to be stronger than the normal ships in the sector, and you're only going to get a fuel out of it. The launch range beacon is almost hidden within a nebula. When the FTL drive is charged, you can jump to the next sector. Oh, nothing? Okay. I think we shall jump to a civilian sector so we have more options next time. Hello, civilian sector. Welcome to a new sector! Get to the exit beacon and jump to the next sector before the pursuing rebels catch you. Well, thank you for the tip. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and end this video here. Thank you so much for watching. And my hat is off to you.